Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I have an amazing real-life story that will make your heart beat faster. Imagine this. It was a warm, sunny afternoon when out of nowhere, a woman was found lying still on the pavement with her two little kids by her side looking very scared. Just then, a kind and brave millionaire rushed to help her without a second thought. Yes, you heard that right. A rich man using his wealth to save a life in a way that you will not believe. Stay with me as we break down every exciting moment of this bold rescue. It was an ordinary day in a busy part of town. People were walking, talking, and going about their daily routines. Suddenly, something very strange happened. A woman, who we will call Mary for our story, suddenly collapsed. Mary was not able to move or speak. She lay there on the ground with her eyes closed, while her two young children, one little boy and one little girl, watched with worry. At first, the people around did not know what to do. The children looked so frightened, and the crowd began to murmur. It was a very serious moment because when someone faints, every second is important. Many people think that a fall is just a small accident, but sometimes a person can be in great danger when they lose consciousness. In Mary's case, her body was not working as it should at that moment, and it was very clear that someone had to act quickly. Imagine if you were playing outside and suddenly a friend fell down and couldn't get up. Wouldn't you want someone to help right away? That is exactly what happened, but on a much bigger scale. And this time the helper was not just any person, it was a brave millionaire. Just when the crowd was confused and worried, a tall, calm man appeared. His name is Mr. Caldwell. He is known to be a millionaire, but more importantly, he is known for his kindness. Mr. Caldwell was driving by in his very shiny car when he noticed Mary and her children. He did not waste a second. In his car, he quickly pulled over, jumped out, and ran toward them. I want you to picture this. A man in fancy clothes with a warm smile and eyes that show care, suddenly appearing as if from nowhere. This is not something you see every day. Most of us would stand there unsure of what to do, but not Mr. Caldwell. He knew that every second counted in an emergency. Mr. Caldwell's first action was to check Mary's condition. He gently shook her shoulder and asked in a soft voice, "Are you okay, ma'am?" Even though she did not respond, his kind and steady words calmed the children. He made sure they felt safe. "It is all right," he said. "I am here to help you." His brave actions remind us that heroes can come in all forms, even from the most unexpected places. When someone is unconscious, scientists and doctors tell us that it is very important to act fast. You see, when a person does not wake up, their body may not be getting enough air or blood to the brain. Mr. Caldwell, as soon as he saw Mary, did two very important things. He quickly called the emergency number and then began to check on her. Let me explain this step by step in simple words. Checking for signs of life. Mr. Caldwell looked to see if Mary was breathing. He listened carefully and checked to see if her chest was moving. Calling for help. Even as he comforted the children, he used his cell phone to call the nearest ambulance service. He explained exactly what was happening so that the paramedics could come as fast as possible. These are the very same steps that are taught in basic first aid classes. Imagine if you learn how to press the call button when your friend gets hurt at school. That is what Mr. Caldwell did, and his actions were like a secret code for saving lives. As this dramatic scene unfolded, Mary's two children stood very close to her. The little boy's eyes were large with fear, and the little girl clutched her hand tightly. I saw on my face a frown, thinking, How would my heart feel if I were in their shoes? Mr. Caldwell knelt down beside the children. With a gentle smile, he said, "It is going to be all right. I promise I will not let anything bad happen." In that moment, the scared looks on their faces began to change into a little glimmer of relief. It is moments like these that show the best in people. Sometimes our small acts of kindness, like a smile or a comforting word, can change someone's day or even their life. Almost as if on cue, the sound of sirens broke through the quiet murmur of the crowd. The ambulance had arrived. When the paramedics came out, they took charge of the situation. They carefully lifted Mary onto a stretcher. Even though Mary was still unconscious, the medics spoke kindly to her as they worked quickly. One of the paramedics said, "We need to get her to the hospital as soon as possible." With that, the team helped Mary and guided the children to safety. Mr. Caldwell stayed with them until the ambulance doors shut. With his calm voice still echoing in the air, he said, "You are safe now." It's important to remember that in emergencies like this, every second helps. Doctors say that if a person does not get enough oxygen to their brain, they could be in very big danger. Mr. Caldwell and the fast response of the ambulance together made the difference between a sad story and a happy ending. Now let's take a moment to talk about the technical details of what happens when someone is found unconscious. It might sound a bit like science class, but I promise it is simple. When Mary was checked by Mr. Caldwell and later by the paramedics, they looked at three very important things. Breathing. Is Mary's chest rising and falling regularly? Pulse. Can you feel her heartbeat? Responsiveness. Does she react or make any small move when gently touched? Medical helpers use small machines that act like magic windows into the body. For example, they might use a pulse oximeter, a small gadget that clips on a finger, to see if there is enough oxygen in the blood. They might also use blood pressure monitors to see how hard her heart is working. Even though these devices might sound like something from a science fiction movie, they are very real and easy to use. They help doctors decide quickly what help a person needs. Mr. Caldwell did not carry these tools himself, but his quick actions allowed the medics to use these tools right away. It shows us that knowing even the most basic steps can save a life. I want to share with you how this story made me feel. I always thought that heroes were only in movies or stories, but here was Mr. Caldwell, a millionaire who could have easily driven by and ignored the scene. Instead, he stopped, helped without any fuss, and became a real-life hero. For a moment, imagine you are at school and someone falls and scrapes their knee. You call for the teacher or you go to help your friend. That is the same idea. But here, Mr. Caldwell did much more. He did not just call for help, he comforted the children and stayed until the experts arrived. This story teaches us that bravery is not about being famous or rich. It is about caring for others. Whether you have a lot of money or only a kind heart, what matters most is that you take action when someone is in trouble. Now let's add a little fun to this serious story. After the incident, someone in the crowd joked, "Did Mr. Caldwell forget his superhero cape at home?" And everyone laughed. Sometimes even serious moments can have a touch of humor. Imagine if you were watching a cartoon where a silly superhero shows up just in time to save the day. You might think he has a cape blowing in the wind, and his eyes sparkle like little stars. That is what some people felt when they saw Mr. Caldwell. Although he was not wearing a cape, his actions were as brave as any superhero you see on TV. This sprinkle of humor reminds us that while life can be very serious at times, a smile or a kind word can make everything a little bit brighter. After Mary was taken by the ambulance, everyone in the crowd began to talk. People shared their feelings and comforted one another. Nearby, a kind lady stayed with the children until another family member arrived. A few hours later, the hospital sent out a message that Mary was receiving good care and her condition had improved. The news spread fast. Many people on social media began to talk about Mr. Caldwell's brave rescue. Letters of thanks and words of admiration poured in. Some even said, "This is what true kindness looks like." It made me think that sometimes one action can inspire many. When you hear stories like this, it teaches you that even the smallest act of kindness can echo far and wide in the hearts of many people. This rescue was not just about one person acting quickly. It was also about a caring community that came together in a moment of need. Neighbors helped keep the area safe, and strangers looked out for one another. I remember a time when my neighborhood came together after a big storm. We helped each other fix broken windows and shared warm drinks. In that same spirit, when the incident happened, the community did not stand by. They talked to one another, made sure the children were okay, and even offered comfort while they waited for help. This shows us that a caring community is like a family that makes everyone feel safe. It teaches us to look out for our neighbors, even if we are strangers at first. Remember, being kind and helping one another makes our world a better place. After the medics finished their work, the hospital kept Mary under close watch. Over the next few days, doctors worked very hard to help her recover. They explained that when a person faints, their brain might not get enough oxygen, and that is why a fast rescue is so important. Medical experts remind us that time is very important during an emergency. When each second is saved, it helps to protect the brain and other organs. They say that training in simple first aid can benefit everyone. Yes, even kids can learn a few words of advice such as call for help and stay calm. I believe this story is a brilliant lesson for us all. It reminds us that heroes are not measured by the money they have, but by how big their heart is. Mr. Caldwell's actions teach all of us that even if you are busy or have a lot of important things to do, stopping to help someone in need is always the right choice. Before we move to the end, let me tell you a little more about basic first aid. It is like a set of instructions that help you save lives. Here are the very basic steps. Check the person. Look to see if they move or breathe. Call for help. Always dial the emergency number immediately if something is wrong. Comfort them. Stay with the person and speak in a calm, gentle voice. Do not move them too much. Only help move someone if they are in danger, like near a busy road or fire. These steps are taught in many schools around the world and can help save lives. Mr. Caldwell might not have been a trained doctor, but his quick common sense played a huge role in saving Mary's life. So next time you are at school or at home, listen well if someone teaches you these simple steps. You might be the one who makes the difference someday. Listening to and talking about this story made me think about the kind of world we want to live in. I believe that each of us has a little bit of hero inside. Have you ever seen someone get hurt on the playground and you felt like you wanted to help? That feeling is very important. It shows that you care about other people. Mr. Caldwell showed us that being brave does not always mean fighting villains or doing something dangerous. It can also mean taking the time to help someone in need. Sometimes I wonder what I would do if I saw a situation like this. Would I be scared? Would I run away? Or would I remember to call for help just like Mr. Caldwell? I hope that every time you think of his brave act, you learn that a loving heart is the greatest superpower of all. Let me share one more fun part of the day. After the rescue, someone in the crowd said with a laugh, "I bet Mr. Caldwell even rescues cats from trees on weekends." People laughed, and it lightened the mood after such a heavy moment. But even in that smile, there was a deep truth. Life sometimes takes a strange twist, where the most unexpected people become our heroes. Imagine if you had a friend who was always kind and ready to help. That friend might not wear a red cape, but their actions shine bright like the sun on a clear day. This small moment of laughter reminded everyone that we can be serious and kind, but we can also smile and share hope. It is a good reminder that even in the hardest times, a little humor can make us feel better and bring us closer together. Let's go back over the timeline in our minds once more. It started as a normal day with a bright, clear sky. Mary, the woman, suddenly collapsed, and her two children were left confused and scared. Mr. Caldwell, our kind millionaire, saw what was happening, pulled his car over, and rushed into action. He checked Mary's breathing, comforted the children, and immediately called for the ambulance. The rescuers arrived quickly, and soon Mary was taken to the hospital. Later, we heard good news that Mary was getting better. The community, filled with hope and discussions, celebrated that a true act of kindness had taken place. Every step of this story is important. It shows us that once we know what to do, even a small action can lead to a rescue that changes lives. What does this story tell us? It tells us that even when life seems scary or surprising, there is always hope. The simple act of caring, checking on someone, or even just calling for help can make a huge difference. Even if you are a young child, remember that your kind words or little actions matter a lot. Whether it is sharing your toy with a friend or telling someone, "I care," you may be creating ripples that help make the world a better place. I want each of you to know that true courage comes from within. It is not about having super strength or a fancy car. It is about caring for others, acting fast when needed, and always loving one another. This story of Mary and her kids, rescued by the brave Mr. Caldwell, is a reminder that we are all connected. We are all part of a community where every kind act counts. So let's remember this lesson every day. Before we wrap up, here is a little extra information that might help you understand emergencies better. How do parametrics work? When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics checked Mary with some simple machines. One of these machines is called an ECG, or electrocardiogram. It is like a drawing of your heartbeat and helps the doctor see if your heart is strong. Why is oxygen so important? Our brains need oxygen to function, just like a car needs fuel to run. When Mary fainted, it was a sign that perhaps her heart or breathing was not working well. The faster the doctors can help make sure her brain gets oxygen, the better her chances are to get better. Training can help everyone. Many people take classes to learn first aid. They learn what to do when someone falls or gets hurt. It is like learning the rules of a game that could one day save a life. These simple technical details show that even complicated things can often be broken down into easy parts. And by learning these, we can all help in our own little ways. Now, I want you to think for a moment. What would you do if you saw someone in trouble? Would you know exactly what to say or do? Here are a few ideas for how you can be a helper. If you see someone fall or not get up, find an adult immediately. Always remember to call for help. For example, dial 911 or your local emergency number and tell them what happened. If you are a little older, you might ask your parents if you can learn some basic first aid steps. Many community centers offer classes on these things. And most importantly, always be kind. A simple smile or a kind word can help someone feel safe when they are scared. Your small actions every day can create a big change. Each of us can be a hero in our own way. As we come to the end of this story, I want you to remember this one very important thing. Bravery is not just for superheroes in movies. It is inside each and every one of us. Mr. Caldwell's actions show that if we all look out for one another, our community becomes stronger. Whether you are wealthy or not, what matters most is the size of your heart and your willingness to help. Think about a time you helped a friend or a family member. That warm feeling you get inside, that is your superpower. Never forget that even the smallest act of kindness can help change someone's world. I hope this story inspires you to be brave, caring, and to always take action when someone needs help. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story of courage and kindness. If you felt inspired by Mr. Caldwell's bold rescue, please show your support by following these simple steps. Like this video. Let me know in the thumbs up that you believe in the power of kindness. Subscribe to our channel. Join our community of heroes who celebrate every act of courage, big or small. Hit the bell icon. That way you will never miss our new amazing stories and helpful tips on how you can be a hero too. Watch the next video. On your screen right now, you will see a link to another video that tells a similar story of hope and bravery. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Before you go, always remember that each act of kindness makes the world a little brighter. Whether it is helping a friend, sharing a smile with a stranger, or even learning something new about keeping someone safe, you're making a difference. I would love to hear from you. Have you ever helped someone when they were in trouble? Do you have a story of kindness to share? Please leave your comments down below so we can all learn from each other. And if you enjoyed this story, share it with your family and friends. Let's spread this message of hope everywhere.